see if the chat is still frozen. The chat has been freezing up lately. I don't know why. It could be because the moon is going to be full. Can somebody type something in? Enter something into the chat, if you will. I'm trying to see if it's working or not. Hello? I am here and this is live. Waiting for a few minutes to go by so that people can join. Let's see. This is part 2 of the full moon party. The chat is on. It's only been 4 minutes. It's Saturday night. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Type something in, please. I'm trying to see if the chat is working. It looks like, oh, it is. Eddie, babe, did you have trouble with your YouTube channel? I was wondering, because a lot of people, I had to stop my live because somebody had hijacked my live. Somebody was shutting people down. Oh, okay, good. Charlotte was one of my guests, and she said that she was booted out of the live. Somebody came because it was saying that I was doing it. I guess somebody had hacked into my account, and I had to change my password, which took a little while. I think you were there. You were there at the last live that I did. I did a lot. I was doing. We were right, almost. We were right in the middle of a live, and all of a sudden, somebody came in, and it looked like I was doing it. Somebody had hacked into my account. So anyway, hopefully none of that stuff will happen. Hopefully. This is Eddie's Funhouse. Why am I under attack? These cyber guys. These cyber techie people. They just want to mess around with my channel. And then my subscribers think I did it, which is not cool. I'm trying to entertain. Do you watch baseball? No, I don't watch baseball. I used to play baseball. I remember when I was in high school, some friends and I would get together. Our youth group at church would get together, and we'd play baseball, which is kind of fun. I always like hitting a ball with a bat, you know, running from base to base, getting your pants dirty. But I never watched, you know. I kind of like boxing. Red Sox and Dodgers are in a real good game now. Okay. Who was it? There was a team they say was cursed. I think it was wasn't it the Red Sox? They hadn't won a game. I forget. Somebody brought his goat to the baseball diamond, and he was told he couldn't bring his goat, so he cursed them. I think it was the Cubs. Wasn't it the Cubs? That's what I remember about. I think it was the Cubs, yeah. They never won a game until just recently. I think it was like 2017. Yeah, it used to be the Cubs. They finally won. Those are some interesting subjects. Remember the Harlem Globetrotters? They were that basketball. I remember that in the 70s. There was the Harlem Globetrotters. So the Red Sox and the Dodgers, they're playing pretty well now. Have they got a good team? Still exist. Oh, they still exist. I have trouble reading these little letters. So we're back again. We'll see who comes in the hijacks. That's really terrible. You're just trying to do a live. You got everything in place. All of a sudden somebody comes in and starts messing around. I guess that's old news now. We're doing good so far. I'm going to try to stay up until midnight. Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah, they still exist. Okay, they still exist. Okay, I can read. It's late for me. So at midnight, the moon will become full. We'll have a full moon at midnight. So I'm trying to make it a party. I have my Charleston Chews. I have my lemonade. I'm indoors. I have my Yahoo button. Yahoo! Yeah, maybe I'll have to explain to everybody else. Some of my usual people, they're having to get new channels. It's getting crazy how people are messing with other people's YouTube channels. I hope they get found out soon. So what other sports are you into? You like baseball? We were talking about the Harlem Globetrotters. They're probably a new group now. They probably all got old. They even made a cartoon about them. Did you hear about the Beetlejuice 2 movie coming out in September? Looks like it's going to be a good one. They're calling it Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. When I was in high school, football, golf, and lacrosse? Oh, lacrosse. Okay. I remember lacrosse. No, I didn't. Are you interested in Beetlejuice? That was probably before your time. Beetlejuice started in the 80s. Michael Keaton played Beetlejuice. It's a pretty good movie. It's a comedy. It's about an exorcist. Only they exorcise people instead of spirits. Or this person, yeah. It's like a carnal exorcist or something like that. He was the same guy who played Batman. Oh, you were born in 71. So yeah, you should have. You probably heard of Beetlejuice then. I'm an old guy. I was born in 68. 1968. So I've seen a lot of good movies, heard a lot of good bands. I was able to see the 80s and yeah. What other movies came out? That's what I like to talk about mostly. Music and movies. And then there's the boxing. You ever watch the cage fights? MMA? MMA boxers and sometimes just regular boxers. Taekwondo is a very effective art. Martial arts came out in the 70s. I think in the 60s and 70s. It made its way here to America. I think Korea was the first. Then there was like Philippines, Japan. There was a lot of karate movies. Karate and Kung Fu. All that Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris. Grace Family was, yeah, those were the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, Gracie's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's a pretty effective art too. They get the cauliflower ears. They get the big muscles. That's pretty good for one-on-one. Aikido was a samurai martial art. Aikido. And then there was Jeet Kune Do. It was an invention of Bruce Lee. I grew up with Karate Kid. You ever watch the original Karate Kid? That started in the 80s. They're still making Karate Kid. There's a series now about Cobra Kai, Miyagi-Do karate. A lot of hot tempers. My son wrestled football, lacrosse through high school. Isn't lacrosse when you get on a horse? You get on a horse and you have that mallet. I think that's called lacrosse. No, lacrosse is it's that hook kind of thing. Lacrosse. That's kind of like hockey, but with a ball. Oh, that's polo. That's right. Okay. Lacrosse is when you're using like some kind of a hook with a ball in it. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I confused polo. I was thinking of polo. Polo is like a rich person's sport. People who are rich play polo. They even had polo shirts. That was a lacrosse has webbed stick. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Lacrosse. And then there's a game called cricket. I think it's popular in the UK. Cricket. Now I know, yeah. It's kind of like a tennis racket, but it's got a cup. You play, yeah, lacrosse. God, it's been a while. Lately, I just been hearing fireworks. Here in Georgia, fireworks, they celebrate with fireworks all the time. New Year's Eve, fireworks. 4th of July, fireworks. And they're loud. They do them right in the neighborhood. I'm surprised no fires have happened. They have fireworks that go up in the air and explode that you can buy at the store. It's like $19 or $20. It has a ball with a huge wick on it, and you drop the ball down into your into a pipe kind of thing, like a mortar, and you light the wick, and the ball goes up in the air, and there's an explosion. Those are the ones that'll keep you up at night. They do fireworks until like 12 o'clock at night. You're trying to sleep and you hear pop, boom. And we're here with a lot of pine trees. The pine trees have pine needles, and they get on the roofs. That's one thing I don't hope doesn't happen. Those pine needles get up on the roof, and a spark could light the pine needles. That would suck. I think that's what people need to consider, especially in the summertime. All those pine needles, people don't wash, or they don't brush the pine needles off their roofs. That's all it would take. A well-placed spark, and your roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Yeah. It's been raining though, so that's keeping the pine needles wet. Wow, I gotta keep awake. I should start eating chocolate or drinking coffee. I guess that's something we could do on the night of a full moon, which is tonight. Tonight, tonight, tonight. Oh. So hopefully nobody can come in and mess with my channel again. It's just recently these glitchers. They call themselves glitchers. These people that say that when their logo comes up, it says glitch. There's like 4 or 5 of them. And they get in and they start messing around. It's just been recently. I've been on YouTube for quite a few years. I think 2001 was when I started on YouTube, and I never had any problems. Now I guess people have a lot of spare time. That's a way to stay awake. Play some flute music. So we got 3 people, it looks like. I'll see how long I can keep people entertained. Isn't there a lot of armor that you wear when you play lacrosse? Isn't there like knee pads? It's been a while since I've seen lacrosse. I'm pretty sure there's a TV. You know, they probably do it on television. I remember a game called Yard Darts. There were these huge darts that you throw up in the air, and they're supposed to land in a circle. people were getting killed. People play the yard darts. They go up, they throw them up in the air, and they get them stuck in their head. They're just these huge darts. And people would get stuck with them. There's a lot of games that were banned because they were so dangerous. Javelin. One guy got stuck with a javelin. He was just standing there, and the guy threw a javelin, and it hit him in the chest. That's like a Greek Olympic kind of weapon. The javelin and the discus. A web stick and a ball. Yeah, I remember that. Isn't it hard to catch something with that? They just throw a ball and you're supposed to catch it. I'm going to have to study how they play that. I know they're not on horseback. Lacrosse. Sounds like a French word. Lacrosse. You ever play water volleyball? People play volleyball in the water. Sometimes that's fun. Noodling. Have you ever seen noodling? Anna Barron. I think her name is Anna Barron. She's kind of a big deal online. In what is it called? Not multimedia. Social media. I forget where she lives. Anna Barron. She does this thing called noodling, where you hunt with no rod, no reel. You just stick your hand in the fish's mouth. Those catfish are huge. It's like they're radioactive mutants. Have you ever seen those wasting's disease videos? There's like a deer that runs in a circle because its brain is affected by this wasting disease. Then there's these deer that have huge warts on them. I don't know. That's where my mind is going all of a sudden. Deers with conditions. Oh, it's called deer. One deer, many deer. Crows are pretty intelligent. They call it a murder of crows when they hang together. If they don't like you, they remember you. They have like fake face recognition. Yeah, just like, could you imagine having a bunch of crows get mad at you? They get very creative with their revenge. I guess nobody wants to be up at 10 o'clock. I'm the only one crazy enough to stay up until the full moon. It's 10:42. We have an hour to go still. Now all you need is a snake and a basket. That's right, and a turban. Take my shirt off and just sit there with a snake in a basket. I'll be a charmer. Calm the cobra. Time's flying. I think I started this at 9 o'clock, and it's already like 10 minutes till 11. Yep, 10:43. Did you just join? Are you a newbie? A fresh soul? Someone's in my fruit cellar. Someone with a fresh soul. Have you seen that? It was like, not Army of Darkness. It was Evil Dead 2. You newbie. A newbie. Newbie. That was Evil Dead 2. Grandma was in the cellar. That was when Ash was thrown down in the cellar. That was before CGI. A lot of those good movies, they actually had to use stop motion, like in Clash of the Titans. Back in the 80s, there was Clash of the Titans. They had that two-headed dog that had, if Perseus had to fight. The Medusa was really spectacular. It was all, you're like, yeah, Ray Harryhausen. He's the one who did Jason and the Argonauts. I'll have to post that on my community page. I have some of those documentaries. Ray Harryhausen, how he got started. He did like King Kong. It's pretty cool. I did some stop motion. I have some of my videos have that. I did some animation and stop motion a long time ago. He actually used these little dolls. The really good one was the golden voyage of Sinbad, and then there was Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. Those were pretty cool. The Cyclopses and the who was it? The Griffin and that Cyclops, or no, it was a centaur. It was a cool looking centaur. What's weird is those movies, the bad monster always won. There was one where the Cyclops fought a dragon. These are movies I watched when I was a kid. Back in the 70s, yeah. Back in the 70s. We actually had to go to the movie theater to watch movies. And then HBO and all that came out. That was awesome. We'd all get in the car. We'd go to the movie theater. Watch these giants on a big old screen. What was weird was every movie we saw on a Friday night, there would be cartoons that corresponded. Like I watched War of the Worlds on in a drive-in theater. I think it was in a drive-in theater. War of the Worlds, not the Tom Cruise one. And it was like, we got home and the next morning, Superman was fighting UFOs. So it was like, isn't that interesting? All the stuff we watched last night on the big screen. What's fun is Universal Studios. They have The Thing. You ever seen The Thing with Kurt Russell? That was a good 80s. Dump the night, the light. The night is one I watched. Dump in the night. Oh, bump in the night. Bump in the night. Not dump in the night. I have dyslexia, so I have to watch how I read. Bump in the night. Wasn't that like creature feature? I haven't seen Bump in the Night. What was it about? Was it about vampires? Salem's Lot was one that scared at me as a kid. When I was a little kid, I would sleep with a teddy bear around my neck so I wouldn't be bitten by vampires. My teddy bear would protect me from vampires. It's neat how kids think, you know. There's a boogeyman in my closet. There's a clown under my bed. That was a scary scene in Poltergeist. Remember Poltergeist? When the kid was being eaten by a tree? You like these blobs that are tiny? Oh, okay. Bump in the Night. Blobs that are tiny and run around in the house. Okay, in this house. From Evil Toast? Bump in the Night. I'm gonna have to look that up. I like to see what movies I haven't seen. Have you seen Dreamcatcher? It was a Stephen King movie. Dreamcatcher. That was pretty good. There was a kid named Duddit. Turned out to be an alien who was fighting these worms that had teeth. I think he was inspired by these leeches. There's leeches that look like that. I think there was some CGI in that. What was another good movie? Dreamcatcher. And then Tremors. It's about these huge worms that were in the desert. That's how they would find people with through vibration. People would have to jump into the back of their truck or they'd be eaten. It was kind of like playing tag. Oh, I'm in base now. What was another? There's some other movies that freaked me out. Day of the Dead in 1985. One of Romero's movies. Thanks a lot, Mr. Romero. Having dreams about zombies. I got this. Oh, there's a one there still. What other movies have you seen? So Bump in the Night was about little blobs. There was two blob movies. There was one with like Steve McQueen. The one that was made in the 80s was really good. That had good special effects. Flubber, yeah. Wasn't that Robin Williams? There was the original Flubber, and then there was one with Robin Williams. Flubber. It was like a blubber that had a mind of its own. Flubber. What was the one with the flying cars? The Cat from Outer Space. I remember the Cat from Outer Space. That was a Disney movie. Cat from Outer Space. He was like a telepathic cat, yeah, that had telekinesis. Escape from Witch Mountain was a good one too, but that was way back. I just remember Gremlins. Remember Gremlins? The Gremlins messed with the clocks, so he thought it wasn't midnight yet. And then he fed them all, and he turned from Mugwai into Gremlins. You ever watch Mel's Diner? The girl that was in Mel's Diner? And that movie where you become a fly on the wall. Wasn't that with Jeff Goldblum? There was two versions of that. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum turns into a fly. A fly on the wall. That sounds like an AC/DC album. Fly on the wall. Howard the Duck had a lot of stop motion. Howard the Duck was it was a George Lucas movie, and it flopped. I got so many Razzies, I guess. It was about a little duck, and a woman fell in love with the duck. And the woman had what happened to be like a rocker. like a punk rocker. That had a lot of cool stop motion. That's what I've wanted to have is a big DVD movie, a big room full of DVDs with all these movies in it. I could just lock myself in there and watch DVDs. Come out with white skin, squint in my eyes. Like that movie Fuzz, Hot Fuzz. The guy had a whole room dedicated to movies. Yeah, we'll be up to our balls in jugglers. Those are good movies. I used to have Shaun of the Dead. I don't know what happened to it. I guess it got lost in moving. It's amazing what disappears when you move. People wear those overalls when they're unpacking. Oh, wow. I guess I'm ad-libbing because I'm just waiting for 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is when the mood is full. What about that scary movie where clown and caught? Yes! That was called Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah. Killer Clowns. They have that on YouTube from time to time. It's the free with ads movies. Free with ads. And yeah, that was creepy. They would take a straw and stick it in the cotton candy. That was an amazing show. I wish I could get that on DVD. Killer Clowns. And then Eight-Legged Freaks. Remember Eight-Legged Freaks? Scarlett Johansson was in that one. They were riding on motorcycles, like dirt bikes, and they were trying to get away from these giant jumping spiders. And it took over a mall. Yeah, I remember that. They were running into the mall while these spiders are jumping around. It was radioactive. Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Yeah, the eensy weensy spider climbed up the water spout. I've had dreams with spiders. When I was a kid, that was one of my bigger fears was giant spiders. When I was a kid, when my mom and dad would go to the Marine Corps ball, we would be at a daycare center, and we had to stay there till 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. So what was they would watch Creature Feature. They would let us stay up and watch Creature Feature. Just a bunch of like first graders, kindergartners, and we'd be watching a television like 11 o'clock. And it was one of the movies was Black Widow. It's about a woman who turned into a Black Widow. Weird ass movie. Remember Wishmaster? You ever seen Wishmaster? What is your wish? There was like Wishmaster and Wishmaster 2. Those are some weird ass movies. The demon was encased in a ruby. I guess when the ruby was broken, he was set free. And he always had that voice and that look on his face. Let me tell. Oh, you should, yeah. I think you could find it on Netflix maybe. It's called Wishmaster. It's about a genie who is very evil. He would get your soul if you were granted 3 wishes. What is your wish? I'm trying to remember some other really off the wall. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I think they meant to make that movie a flop. The Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Young Frankenstein, that was a good movie. And then there was Dead and Loving It, another Mel Brooks movie. That one made me laugh. Where that guy kept eating the bugs. Yes, you did. You just ate a bug. No, I didn't. Did you just make a yummy sound? What was that? Blazing Saddles was another one. I think, wasn't it a zombie movie? There was one, I think it was a zombie movie, and a guy had put a lawnmower on his chest and started killing zombies with the lawnmower. That was a weird ass movie. I forget what the name of it was. I think it was made in Britain. This guy just put together a lawnmower. Yeah, that was a wacky movie. Very messy to make. That's what they did in Army of Darkness. That guy, he put that big fan on his car and he was whacking up all the zombies with it. Zombies. A lot of movies are made about zombies. And werewolves. I remember the only thing that could kill a werewolf was a silver bullet. A silver bullet. You had to melt down a crucifix. American Werewolf in London was a good one. Ahoo, Werewolves of London. That was an interesting movie. Pretty gory. I want to watch that again. I like that. It was about these two guys who went for a hike. One of his friends was attacked by a werewolf. Werewolves. They're called lichens. Lichens. What's that movie with werewolves and vampires? It seems to be always werewolves and like Twilight. And then there was another movie, like I think it was Keira Knightley. She was a vampire and everybody else was werewolves. Can't remember the name of that movie. But yeah, werewolves. Even a man who says his prayers at night can become a werewolf. Maybe I'll become a werewolf. As soon as they say at midnight the moon's going to be full. After midnight, we gonna shake, jump, and shout. That's a pretty good pick-me-up song. After midnight, we gonna let it all hang out. After midnight, we gonna shake, jump, and shout. Oh, I got a message, I think. Nope, no messages. My phone always makes a noise. And it's just me saying I have a friend suggestion. Trying to think of some other scary movies. Yeah, that one was. There was. There were a lot of those 50s movies about flying saucers. There was one where these guys in gorilla costumes put on deep sea diving helmets. And I think it was a black and white movie. I remember we would have to go get 3D glasses. We would have to go out to like a 7-Eleven and get 3D glasses, and we'd wait for a movie to come on television. It was like Creature from the Black Lagoon. We would stay up to watch it. It was like, oh yeah, put on these 3D glasses. And to get the effect, you had to have a color TV, because it's a mixture of green, red and blue. and you have like red on one side, blue on the other. Then you just wait for the movie to come on. There was another one called The Flying Guillotine. It was a kung fu movie. This guy had a flying guillotine. It looked like a basket on the end of a chain, and he'd throw the basket and it would cut people's heads off. They made that into a 3D movie. It's like, wow, how creative. It's like he throws this basket on people's heads and he'd pull the chain and the blades would close. Off with your head. There was another one called The Blood of the Dragon. It was about a guy who fought with a spear. He just had a... Yeah. And they would show it in 3D. This flying basket. They also had Jaws 3D. Remember that? Jaws 3D. They also had Nightmare on Elm Street. No, it was Friday the 13th was in 3D. I think it was the third episode or the third installment. This lady was hanging a clothesline, and it looked like it was coming out of the TV. Some of them they made you didn't need the 3D glasses. You could still have the 3D effect. Jason was cutting people up in 3 dimensions. That was a big deal too, you know. Jaws 3 in 3D. What if a guy's arm was bitten off and you could see the arm floating there? I guess that's what adds to horror. Being able to see it come out of the screen. Sometimes at the movie theater, like Saw, I remember the very last Saw movie. There was guy was wearing they gave everybody 3D glasses. They're like commemorative glasses. The Saw movies. Final Destination, that was a good series. Everybody had to dodge death. They're doing that here in Georgia. Here in Georgia, they're filming down in the town I live in, Dallas, Georgia. They closed down Main Street, I guess, and they filmed a couple of movies in downtown Dallas. I like to be there. I was talking to a guy who set up scenes. I should have asked him, hey, can I go watch you do your job? My brother was an extra. I forget which movie he was in. I'll have to call him one day and ask him if he can remind me which movie he was in. They pay you like $100 to sit there while the camera goes by. That's some pretty interesting stuff. It's got to be exciting. Quiet on the set and action. I remember one day, I think it was the Red Cross. I played an injured person. They were doing some training exercises, and I had to pretend like I was an injured person. And I think I overdid it. I was hamming it up. I think what the scene was an earthquake or something, and they were just coming by to take care of hurt people. I think I was just by a wall, acting like I was hurt. It's kind of neat watching a movie be made, especially when there's blood and arms or gunshots. I was watching like documentary about Sucker Punch, the movie Sucker Punch. Also, Halloween, that Rob Zombie Halloween version. The version of Halloween. It's cool how much fun they have dressing up, doing the stunts. all the actors are being themselves. They kind of get out of character. I want to go to one of those, like, it was Dragon Con. They had Dragon Con in Atlanta. I like to go to Dragon Con and get. They had a parade. Everybody dressed up as movie characters and sci-fi. There was a lady dressed like Harley Quinn, and she looked really, really, very much like her. Another guy was dressed like Superman. I guess her boyfriend was dressed as Superman. He had a shirt open with the S on it, and the tie was kind of bent out of the way. So I saw a heart and Professor Snape. They had like a Harry Potter. Each movie was part of the parade. It was like watching Mardi Gras. It's been. I like to. It also, when they have those panels, you get to see all the celebrities that were in a certain movie. Yeah, those were the days. Well, cool. I'm glad we could talk. We're chatting. This is what 80s Funhouse is about. It's 11:09. 11:09. Watching my arms to see if hair grows. Watching my fangs. Some people have literal fangs. I've noticed that. I'll be watching someone talk and I'll go, look at that fang. It makes you wonder, who's a lichen. Some people have. I had really pointy ears when I was a kid. I look like a little elf. Some people have. They look so like a caricature. Did you know? I think Clint Eastwood is like 6'4", something like that. I didn't know he was that tall. Then there's a lot of celebrities that are real short. They're like 5 feet tall. But when you see them on the screen, they look like they're a lot taller. I don't know. We shouldn't talk about height. Yeah, good old Clint Eastwood. That's right. When you hang a man, you better look at him. Did I fire 4 shots or only 5? Or 5, yeah. The only question is, do you feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? I think his catchphrase was, go ahead, make my day. Do you feel lucky? Yeah. Well, I guess I'm not being hacked today. I was doing the best one. Which one? Dirty Harry? I like the good, the bad, and the ugly. I like that. Da 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 da. I think I could do that with my flute. I used to be able to make that sound. Wah, 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 wah. Do you feel lucky, punk? Yeah. I hope that one too. Oh, you like that one? Yeah. Do you feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? I like those Mandela effects because it's like how we remember things. People thought Darth Vader said, I, Luke, I am your father. But when you look at the movie, it says, no, I am your father. I like how they use James Earl Jones' voice. Because the original guy, he didn't have a scary voice. He was trying to, when they did the first scene, it was almost funny to hear him go, I want them alive. And then they added James Earl Jones. I find your lack of faith disturbing. Pray I don't alter it any further. Remember Conan the Barbarian? Conan the Barbarian, he played Salsa Doom. That was a cool movie. Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. I like the guy who narrated it. He was in RoboCop too, that guy. I can't remember his name, but Conan does not cry, so I cry for him. I have that. I have that in my video library. Conan the Barbarian. That was the best one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hi, Eddie, can you see this message? Yes. Hello, Charlotte. So I changed my password. And things have been going pretty well. We haven't had any interruptions. Because that last live we were on, things just went haywire. And it made it look like I was timing people out. I guess in these lives you can time people out. You can remove people from the chat. We were talking about movies. All the favorite movies. So Charlotte is from Ireland. Where is Kata? I think that's Kata. I never asked you where you were from. One person was from Canada. Some people come here from the UK. Hi, my other accounts are blocked. This is the last account I'm making. I don't know what's causing them to be blocked. I had to change my password because I noticed. Oh, okay. That's right. You were saying we're in the same time zone. America. I used to live in Georgia. Okay. I'm right now in Georgia. Georgia. Well, welcome again, Charlotte. I'm sorry this is happening. Because it's like, all I know to do is change my password. These guys have hacking ability. Because they hacked into Emma's account. Just because she was annoying. Thank you for your diligence. I wish this would stop, really. It's really annoying. Because people are trying to watch the show. They're trying to watch this chat. And these people come in. They call themselves glitchers. And that's all they do is annoy people. I took away the moderator. I was making people moderator. And then people started getting upset. Make me moderator. That's not fair. She timed me out. Or he timed me out. So I took away all the moderators. It's just weird how people pop up. And it's always when that glitch guy shows up. And then all those other ones show up. And weird stuff starts happening. It's scary because when somebody else takes control of your computer. It reminds me of those scam busters. You ever watch those scam busters? That one guy with the blue hair. He pretends to be an old lady. And then he takes control of their computer and starts deleting their files. And he gets into their webcam and they're watching themselves on the webcam. I'm going to have to post one of those videos. It's hilarious. Yeah. Hello? I have to go to the bank? You want me to go to the bank? So if a time comes you don't see me, the chat, it's because you don't see my message. Nothing against you, as I do enjoy your lives. I know. I'm just praying that this stops. because I just want, this is all I want to do. All I want to do is have some fun until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. It's just crazy. I mean, and it's just been over these past few days. I haven't had any problems with my other lives. These past few days, these people, I think they're in the UK, because they say stuff like mate and wanker and whatever. So, uh, and the way they talk, or the way they, enter in chats. So all I can do is change my password and hope for the best. Some of them are my subscribers, and I haven't found out how to get to my subscribers. One of them messaged me. One of them left me a comment, and I was able to look at his channel, and I noticed he had no videos on his channel. So I guess what they do is they create these channels so they can look at other people's channels, and they want to be moderators. Because when I took away their ability to moderate, they started threatening me. They started saying that they were going to report me to YouTube and all that. So if ever you see glitch, that's what they're all about. I think what it is they're showing off. They're showing off the fact that they can do all this stuff. Let's get back to movies. I think that's what it is. They're narcissists. Narcissists want you to talk about them. They want you to focus on them. And I'm not going to let that happen. Gray rock, baby. Wow, you guys are up at the same time I am. It's 11:20, so I think about 45 minutes the mood will be full. We can do that full moon howl. Thank you again, Charlotte. I just wish all this stuff, I wish I knew more about how people hack into your account and wreak havoc. I noticed some of the things you posted, some of the things Brian posted are gone. They went in there and they started deleting some people's posts. I think maybe it's because I've noticed YouTube, there's problems and then the problems get fixed. So I'm hoping that's what happened. Sometimes they announce, sometimes it's the analytics. They say we're having a problem with the analytics, or so maybe there are just some problems going on. All right, I'm not going to worry. That'll be my mantra for the night. I'm not going to worry. I know. It makes me so sad. Come on. Here I am trying to attract an audience. All right. Who put the bop in the bop, she bop? Who put the ram in the ram-a-lam-a ding dong? Because in the UK, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, or even later. I noticed that last night we didn't have any glitchers because they were probably all sleeping. So that's my theory. So I think there's at least a 5-hour difference between here and the UK. Because they're saying it's my bath time, etc. 4:20. Oh, you just woke up. Wow. So you got a little sleep there. It's probably the moon's probably already full over there. Oh, I really like all you showing up. I really like it. Because I've been working really hard on this channel. I wanna have a lot of people to entertain. That's how a lot of people got their start. Like Bo Burnham, Justin Bieber, the Haktua girl. Before that, it was the Chick-fil-A girl. Before that, I think it was Pants on the Ground. I remember that a couple of years ago. There's always somebody that comes out with, like that one kid, I like turtles. I like Tosh Point oh. Have you ever watched Tosh Point oh? He does the web redemptions. That's pretty funny to watch. Hide your wife, hide your kids. Hide your wife, hide your husband, hide your kids. And that other one, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got bronchitis. She got a web redemption. They dressed her up like a superhero. Ain't nobody got time for that. I think her name was Sweet Brown. Sweet Brown. I guess Brian got offended because he said, I'm out of here. Because he timed out one of the glitchers. So I took away everybody's moderation powers because everybody was timing each other out. I wonder, I'm not going to block anybody. I don't think that's right to do. So I guess we're getting some peace and quiet. This is a successful live stream. What else can we talk about? Reincarnation? Have you ever seen those reincarnation shows? The Ghost Inside My Child? Who is that? Russo? Kim Russo? You ever watch her show? She goes to celebrities who have hauntings or who have been haunted. She uses her psychic abilities to figure out what happened. Meatloaf was in one of them. And Rowdy Rod Piper. Anthony Michael Hall. There was a whole lot of people. Kesha. I think Kesha was being haunted. What I like is when somebody gets murdered and they come back. If the problem, you should ban him. Not fair to other. I know. And remember, I think it was this morning. I think you were there when I took them off the moderator or mod. They were saying, oopsie daisy. You know, they were making it like it was a big mistake for me to take them off the moderator feature. Because they all wanted to be moderators, all of them. They wanted to be moderators. And as soon as I took them off, because I knew they were the ones, because Brian got timed out. Brian was timed out. And that's why he timed out that glitcher. So, yeah. So I took away all of their privileges. I think that's what upset them. That's why they started doing that. So now there's just me. So if you notice anybody saying anything offensive or disrespectful, I can put them on timeout. Now that I know how to do that, I'm learning this as I go. This is like a crash course. Yeah, crash course. I didn't know I needed to be educated, as far as a live goes. I just thought, okay, get your 50 subscribers, and then you can go live on your telephone. A lot of people are trying to get more subscribers now, because it's like they can't. It's like you have to earn all these privileges. You have to have over 1,000 subscribers. You have to have like 40,000 hours of watch time. I really shortened that area. That's why I'm doing all these lives. Get some watch time. Before you can actually make money. And then they only pay you to how many thousand viewers you get? that's because YouTube can pay them. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. And also these websites that I have. Yeah, I did like the film Riding a Bike so I could make lives of more bike riding. Yeah, some people do that. There's this guy who does videos. He has a basket. Have you ever seen those? He has a basket on his bicycle, and he put like a catwalk on his bicycle so the cat could get into his basket, and then he starts riding around through the forest. The cat loves it. It's like the cat jumps into the basket and they just go for a ride. I like those rescue, some of these animals, they, yeah, you've seen that. Did you see that orangutan that was driving a golf cart? That was cool. There was a female orangutan that was in a golf cart, and it was just chilling, driving around, enjoying itself. They're saying animals are evolving. Have you ever seen those morbid facts videos? Animals are proof that animals are evolving. Like an orangutan was trying to help somebody who fell into some mud. Then there was a polar bear. A polar bear got his tongue caught in a tin can, and the polar bear came to the guy's door, and I guess he called some animal experts. They tranquilized the bear. They got the can off his tongue. Here's a funny one. There was a jelly jar. I think it was a jar of, a jelly jar, and a cat had its head stuck in the jelly jar, and I had to break the jar to get the cat's head out, but there was a mouse inside the jelly jar. I guess the cat tried to get to the mouse, and its head got stuck in the jelly jar. That's the only way I could get the head out, was to break the jar, and it didn't hurt the cat. I thought, wow, I just remembered that. It was when I was living in Portola, California. It's kind of like it's a railroad town. I look outside and there's this cat with its head stuck in a jar. Then we got to see I think it was a hawk or an eagle. It was big enough to be an eagle. When I was in Alabama, across the street, an eagle had caught a squirrel. That was nature at its best. Then they have these huge eagles that knock billy goats off the side of the hill. That's pretty spectacular footage. Apparently eagles like cats. Have you seen those videos? Oh my. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. What I like is when a guy finds baby birds. Have you heard eagles sing? I have a real life. I haven't. I hear hawks around here. On some of my lives, when I'm trying to do lives outside, I think they're red-tailed hawks. They have a scream, and when I'm sitting outside, it's like my life gets taken over by hawk screams. And then I see them flying overhead. I guess it was mating season. I went out to the mailbox. The mailbox is like a block down the street, and you turn a corner. And I just heard these screams from the hawks, and they were circling. They say that's a sign of some kind, the Native Americans, that what you're thinking of is true or something like that, or like the creator is looking out for you. There's a lot of, like eagles. I've always wanted to take my bill, because sometimes these birds look like eagles, but they're buzzards. I see buzzards here sometimes, like eating the roadkill. What's sad is there's a lot of armadillos, and I think they're nocturnal, because every time we're driving down the road, we'll see like an armadillo. and it's been hit by a car. Deer like to jump in front of cars. I think your insurance will cover a deer if you hit a deer. That's what I heard. If a deer jumps in front of your car and you mangle your car, they'll cover it. I think it's called Act of God. What's horrible is hailstones. Hailstones get big enough to just bash your car, bash your window, your hood, the roof of your car. That's terrible. Because some people don't, like we don't have garages. But then again, those hailstones can come through the garage. Did you know crows mourn? Yes, like humans. They lose one from of their flock. They are very, yes, they are. They were showing all these intelligence tests or IQ tests in Georgia. There were tiny white scorpions, which are extremely poisonous. Well, they lived on the mailbox, and you'd have to be careful getting the mail. They aren't on anymore. Scorpions, it seems like the tiny ones are the worst. Because like the emperor scorpions, yeah, those scorpions can put you in the hospital. What's scary is the black mamba, the snake called the black mamba. If they bite an animal, their venom kills the animal, and if something comes along to eat the dead animal, they'll be poisoned. Which is sad. These lions went to eat a carcass that was bitten by a black mamba, and you could watch them just kill over. That's sad because it's like, hey, there's a fresh kill here, and they go to eat the carcass. I didn't know that. That venom is potent. You know what? This guy, I think he was in Turkey. He would talk about, he would be on his rooftop, and the ground would be crawling with scorpions. You could shine a black light on them and they glow. I think the ones he saw, he was an interesting guy to talk to. I known a few people from Turkey. There's a different culture there. I think Turkey is part of it's a Muslim country. He was talking about the origin of the Turkish flag. I think it was Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun. They looked up and they saw a star in the moon. And I guess it was a blessing of some kind. I've seen that before. I think in July, if you look up, you'll see a crescent moon and you'll see Venus. Venus is pretty bright. And it looks like that. You see the moon and then you see that huge planet. What time is it now, kids? We got almost 30, a little less than 30 minutes. Isn't this nice? We're not being disrupted. Those glitchers have very big egos. When they come on, they say, all hail the glitch. You know, the glitch is everywhere. So hopefully me changing my password will stop people from getting in. Hopefully they haven't gotten into my phone. I would hate that to happen. That's creepy when somebody else is controlling your computer. That's not cool at all. We got 4 people now. When you think of tribes, when you think of it, tribes know nothing about Jesus. They depend on the God of the sky, which makes sense. Yeah, because some cultures it's the All Father, Heavenly Father, and Mother Earth. I've always wanted to know how people behave if they have no knowledge of the Bible, if they have no knowledge of any religion. It seems like they adapt by having their own belief system. Like in the Amazon, the Amazon, the Congo, there are people who they've never seen um, any form of technology, but they know a lot. They know which herbs are medicine. They know which herbs are poison. What was that movie with Sean Connery? I think it was called Medicine Man. I think they were in the Congo, and they were showing a tribe out there, and they were trying to find some kind of an herb. It turned out the herb had a fungus that was medicine. I think that's what it is. We're more than our physical bodies, and I think deep down we know that. We know that we are eternal, unseen beings. I still believe they get their knowledge from God, as He is also spirit. Yeah, sometimes just being out in the woods, or whenever we go through something traumatic or scary, like they say, there's no atheists in foxholes. There are no atheists in foxholes. Or I've always wondered that when an atheist is traumatized or has something some dire need. Some people, it's strange to think about, or to what do they do, when they get sick, when they just lose a loved one, you know. Because some people, they don't believe in a God, but they believe in something. Like it's because the Gnostics, have a whole other belief system. They believe that the demiurge is the Bible, the God that the Bible talks about, and he's got us all trapped here in the material world. And then there's the real God. You should look up Abraxas. It's like he's the ultimate God, and some people say there's infinite. There's like God has a God, and his God has a God. Like the Egyptians and the Greeks and the Romans and the Nordic, you know, they all have one main god, and then they have a few goddesses. I've always been fascinated, like when the Bible says, let us make man in our image and likeness. He doesn't say, let me make man in my image and likeness. It's interesting because the experiences that I've had, you know, there's definitely something there. And sometimes it's us. It's like there's the Hermetic principles. No, it was called the Kabbalion. Have you ever listened to the Kabbalion? They talk about the all. The all is mind. The universe is mental. And the all is in all. So it's like the Bible says, know ye not that you are the temple of God, and the Spirit of God dwells within you? And it's like that. And then like, I am, there's, it doesn't make sense that they to say if you don't believe in Jesus, you go to hell. Why would God create? It's almost like he would be condemning himself, because it's like God is the creator and he resides in his creation. He says, what you've done unto the least of these, you've done unto me. So it's like, oh, the golden book of Saint Germain. There was Saint Germain. He was called the Count of Saint Germain. When God says us, he means Jesus and him, because Jesus exists. Yeah, it's like, yes, he does by the Holy Spirit. Yeah, because it's I and the Father are one. It's like Jesus is the manifestation of something unseen. Because it's like there's the creator and then there's the creation. And so it's like that's what he does. You know, he creates, but then he lives in his creation. Kind of like, that's one of the mysteries, it seems. Yeah, because it's like, why have you, no, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. It's like he's talking to God, but he's a manifestation of God. Like, what was I talking about? The Count of Saint Germain has a book called the Golden Book of Saint Germain, and he says that we are God in action. So when we move, that's God. God is what causes us to move, what causes us to think. I think that's what makes us different than all the other creatures, is that we have the power to speak, and that we think. It's kind of interesting because when you fall asleep, when you close your eyes, you keep existing. Like in Hebrew, Eha Esher Eha, that means I am that I am. And then in Hindi, they have Tatwam Asi, that means I am that I am. So what happens to the tribe people when they die? Some people say that we don't die. We transition, because this is a multiverse, and also when we vibrate at different frequencies. There's been a lot of talk about frequencies, like that was one of the principle of vibration. Everything moves, everything vibrates, nothing is at rest. It's like when you look at something really close, it's not solid. It consists of atoms. I think that's what it is we are affecting reality, because they have, like, the Copenhagen experiment. It was, they were looking at particles, and each person that observed those particles, they would behave in different ways. And so they called that the observer effect. I've noticed, like, when my mom leaves the room, I can fix something, because it's like another person being there, having a different expectation. Frequency of the devil. And so, hold on a second. Message retracted. God says us being Jesus. Okay, that was what? So what happens? Okay. That message was retracted. Gotta retype. Okay. We're having a fun time here, aren't we? This is interesting. We're discussing, because they say The all is unknowable, and we exist in the mind of the all. It's like when God thinks about something, it becomes something. When God thinks about us, we come into existence. Or, hello, Builder Man. So we have KTTA, Builder Man. We have Charlotte. Einstein was talking about love. God is love and love is God. But it's almost like what the Bible's saying, you know. OMG. This is the first time I meet a YouTuber notice. Oh, the first time I seen a YouTuber notice me. Well, how about that? I notice you. Yeah, it's kind of like I've seen some people not even read. They People are just typing, typing, typing. I see uh, so many chats, and the person is talking about. Have you ever seen Jenna Ortega? She does hello, Ed's Predum. All these I don't know. I'll just say hi from now on. Hi, welcome. We're having a chat, I guess. My hair looks messy, but okay. It's time for a haircut. I like to. I can cut my own hair except for the back. I have to have help with the back hair. The hair. Welcome, Rose Emma. Rose Edspread in. Welcome, Rose Emma. What's hose? H-O blocked Brian. Somebody blocked Brian? Charlotte is here, and she had the same problem. She had to start a new account. I changed my password. I think somebody hacked in to my to my. Sorry, gotta go. Yeah, it's midnight. Oh, it's midnight. No, it's. There's still 5 more minutes. Hmm. So who are you? You made another account? Hmm. So you're Emma? Did you have to make a new account? I think somebody hacked. I am sure somebody hacked into my account because they were blocking people. People are having to make new accounts, which is yes. What time is it where you are? So you had to make a whole new account? I noticed some of the people who have left comments, their comments are gone. So I guess somebody went into my account and deleted some comments. MSG me. Message me. Okay, hold on. Frequency is part of knowledge the devil passed down to humans, part of witchcraft and yoga, Buddhism, which is just demons dressed as angels of light. Most diets are a distraction. Oh, deities are a distraction. And that's why it's very important to pray. Didn't the Bible say pray without ceasing? Because I think once we lose that communication, that's when our minds go in bad places. Our minds get focused on what's not going right, you know, prices of gas, people dying, you know. And again, it gets into our mind, and our perception is reality. I think that's what it is continuous language. Pics are preds. Pics of preds. What's pics of preds? I've noticed my mind goes, if I'm not careful, I could start becoming afraid. Boing. Okay, Ephesians. For is faith alone. Yeah, the just shall live by faith. Not that men should boast. The just, yeah. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. There we go. Matthew 7:21, Revelations 3:16. I've noticed faith is really a shield, the shield of faith. Shall we continue to sin? God forbid. Because I think the works of the devil are destroyed. Faith that Jesus paid the toll for our sins to have us. And also faith that God is going to handle our shortcomings, Like the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. They're the devil's playground. Idle hands. Also the spirit of discernment. Sometimes we have to pay attention to the discernment. Because sometimes this Holy Spirit is making us aware. They call it conviction too. I remember when I was in church, they would say, they would talk about don't ignore your convictions. Touch one little hair on my believers. It's better. Yeah. It's better that you have a millstone tied around your neck and be cast into the sea. Also, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. That's what happened with Job. Job had a hedge. So, Ed, have you heard of Yeah, I was just mentioning the shield of faith. Because a lot of times things are happening to us or around us. And as long as we continue to have faith, because doubt is something that we need to be aware of, that we can't let consume us. So why did God create people that can't hear about, like tribe people with happens to them? What happens to them who have no faith? Faith and courage. Faith, hope, and love. Yeah, courage. Sometimes we just have, I don't really know. Yeah, if no one can tell people the earth and the heavens prove his handiwork. That's right. There is a watchmaker. I've heard that personally. The Book of Mormon talks about that. If you ever, in the Book of Mormon, they say that Jesus appeared to people after his resurrection. After his resurrection, I don't think anybody doesn't know. My word doesn't return void. That is right. I think that's why we have to communicate with God directly. Because it's like, it's easy, even the elect will be deceived. Mammon, accept many wives. Mormon, accept many wives. Hello. Hello. It is 2 minutes to midnight. As soon as it's 12 o'clock, I will end this stream because I'm fighting to stay awake. It's almost midnight. We can howl, but I'm on here to say Brian died from a car accident earlier today. So, do you believe God? Do you believe Jesus? I was raised Christian ever since I was a kid. I think that's what a lot of us, maybe that's, many are called, but few are chosen. There are hearers of the word and there are doers of the word. Hearers of the law and doers of the law. That was one of our prayers. God is great, God is good. Let us thank him for our food. By his hands we all are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen. I remember that. That was like a blessing. I like the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I think that's a good prayer to memorize. If you memorize that, it's a well-rounded prayer. And that's what we need as our daily bread, to forgive each other. If we forgive men their trespasses, our Heavenly Father will also forgive us. So we have all the messages. We have all the messages. What are the messages? What did I say before this? What did you say before this? Brian died. I think we're going to get, yeah. What did you say before this? You said God is great. Amen. Hold on. What did I say before this? So we have all the messages. That's what you said before this. I guess Brian did die. I left him a message. A comment. A reply. Kita, say it again. Yes, I read that. He died in a car accident. The Brian, he had to change his, his account a few times. I recognized one of his accounts. He messaged me saying goodbye. Or not message, what do they call that? He left a comment. He left a comment saying goodbye. Well, that's sad news. Because he was here earlier today. He was on one of my lives. I had to do a couple of lives because the chats weren't working. I didn't know much about Brian. He came on a couple of times. He was saying he wanted to get more subscribers because he wanted to do a live with me. So that was pretty. I just barely knew. Yeah, I know. Yep. I guess this is the first me hearing about it. I was just talking to him. He was on one of my lives earlier today. So I'll have to. I don't know because he was. Yeah, he was just talking to us. So anyway, all right. It's hard to hear. I guess we'll pray about his family, pray about his, yeah, not only his immediate family, yeah, the ones who knew him. We were just getting acquainted. He came on just a few days ago. He kept coming back to this live. So how is everybody doing? Is the chat still going? Hopefully the chat didn't stop. It can happen so fast. Condolences, we shall pray. Yeah. Let us get this show rolling. Let us get this show rolling. It's about to end. It's midnight. The moon is full. That concludes the full moon party. If we get as about everyone, we'll never be happy. If we get as about everyone, we'll never be happy. Well, I'm going to have to close up shop. Oh yeah, now it's, yep. Oh, yeah, the moon is full right now. It is 12:05. Ah, all right, everybody. Oh, it's howling time. So it's funny, it's howling time. That's what I can put. This, my enemy. Who is your enemy? All right, everyone, it's midnight. It was nice talking to you all. Preed. What's a preed? Anyway, so I will see everyone. Brian didn't die. Okay. Which is it? Did you hear from Brian? Brian. He was trolling everyone. Okay. All right. So you know Brian, I guess. Yeah. So anyway, thank you all for staying up with me. I will see you all probably tomorrow. You got a scammer. Maybe Emma. All right. All right. So, thank you. You should ban this guy. I will do that. All right. So, all right. So now, we will do this again tomorrow, because tomorrow the moon will start to, will wane. The moon will wane. Let's see. Have a super night. It was good hanging out. Yeah. Saturday night. All right. I will see you later.